All right. Welcome back. Second hour of Unchained with yours truly, Rob Priest. I got to tell you, this guy that's coming on the air with us, he's a sweetheart. I haven't had the pleasure of meeting him face to face, but he is a brother in the spirit. He's got a right heart, good man, and I'm saying all these wonderful things as he's listening because, I mean it. So let's bring in our guest, Mr. Rob Pugh. You with us, my brother?
I'm here, Rob. How you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing well. I don't know if I'm doing as well as you, but I'm doing good.
You know, if I was doing as good as you, it would take more caffeine.
Well, I don't know. What about a couple of sugar-free Red Bulls, and we could follow it up with a banana chaser, huh?
You're scaring me again, Rob.
Well, that's okay. That's okay because I scare me. The other day, I looked in the mirror, and my face broke. I'm just saying. Zing!
I understand.
You didn't know what to say to that one. I can't believe you're speechless.
That's because I can't keep up with you.
Well, you know what? I have to do this way because I got to be so serious during the week. It's like, sir, this is really me. I'm going to spitball here. We're going to do this, and then we're going to talk about you. This is me. How are you today? That's really good. I'm glad to hear that. Okay, well, you have a good day. And I'm dying inside. So I gotta just let go and be me. But you know what? I'm going to be me with you. Rob, I got to tell you, we've been, I guess, networking, since we met each other on Facebook, would you say?
Yeah, probably.
Couple of years, right?
Yep.
Okay. And if anything, Facebook is a great way to look, and you look at people's wall and whatever, and you can determine if you have something in common. And if anything, it's, I would say, several things you can add to this. Our love for the Lord, music, anything else?
That's probably the main two things that you and I have going for each other.
And we're ball-headed. and we have, and our names are Rob. So that's four things.
There you go.
And I wish...
Huh? 2 Robs, no waiting.
2 Robs, no waiting. I would love to see that in a movie. But if I did, I wouldn't pay to see it. I would sneak in. But
if we did, I'd have to make one suggestion.
Yeah, go ahead.
It would have to be done at a Taco Bell.
Oh, you know what, dude? You just went up one big old notch because Amanda's over there going, ouch. You know what? Hey, Amanda, there's 6 more coming, baby, so just stick around. Well, Rob, listen, we've got that in common, but with the advent of Unchained, I sent out I sent out a little thing, hey, listen, blah, blah, blah. And you were one of the first people to not only like the page, thank you so much, but you were one of the first people to respond to just a shout-out. Hey, look, if you know anybody that you think would fit the show, whatever, and as crazy as it is, and it is crazy, you gave me a very sweet dear lady in Sherry Kagi.
Yeah.
And that poor gal, I tell you, I had to calm down for her. I really did, because that was, it was like, Rob, look, you're going to wig out on her. But, God, wonderful lady. My Lord, a wonderful testimony. You bring Sherry on, and then you just blew the doors off with John Schlitt. I got to tell you, those things would not have happened without you. Thank you so much.
Well, I appreciate it. What I've done is I've just aligned myself with the right people.
Amen to that.
And they don't get better than those two.
Well, one day, I know I'll get to meet Sherry, and it'll be before I make heaven. And I got to tell you, I'm working right now. I'm going to make the announcement. I don't know if it's going to happen for sure, but we're thinking, well, you know what? You're going to make me tease everybody. Hey, okay, we're going to go to the break. We're going to come back. I got a teaser, and then we're going to talk more with world famous Rob Pugh right after this. That really sounds familiar, Rob. What do you say?
I say it's time to live it loud with John Schlitt. That's what I say.
You know what? That's what I'm talking about in the house, baby.
There's only one thing that matters, Rob. It's all about the greater cause.
You know what? If it's not about the greater cause, why are we doing it?
There's no purpose if there's no greater cause.
That's right, man. I mean, I'll tell you, I've been walking this thing 26 years. And most everybody that's listening, if you're over 40 years old and you've known Jesus for any amount of time, you know it ain't about the size of the church. It ain't about the name of the church. It's the cause, brother. It's the cause. Amen.
Hey,
well,
we all have two major things in common.
Yeah.
We all play on the same team. We all got the same coach.
Yeah. And you know what? It's funny you say that because I got a Facebook like from Jeff Moore in the Distance, and when he did that, I'm thinking, home run. Can't sing the song, but I love the song. We're playing for the same team, man. Yeah. Well, you know, you do a little bit more than play for the same team and whatever. I mean, you got your hands in a lot of pies, and I know. I mean, your dad, your husband, your friend, your brother, but what you do. And the audience, let them know what it is, because, I mean, I know what it is. But what you're doing, you've done the behind-the-scene thing and all that kind of stuff, but you're helping keep alive something that has a really sweet name. Why don't you talk about that for a minute?
Well, it started a few years back. My wife and I and my family, we'd been going to a mega church for a long time, and really didn't fit.
Yeah.
I'm not a clique kind of guy, and when you go to a church, I'd like to be more than a number. And we were a number for a long time, and I finally got fed up.
Yeah, bud.
And through a friend of ours, we went to another little church in Mooresville, Indiana, which is just south of Indianapolis. And the Sunday that we went, they were talking about, we'd like to grow. We'd like to grow a little bit. And we started talking to the assistant pastor and the pastor, and, you know, I'm the new kid on the block, and I'm thinking, we want to grow. Let's shake it up and have a rock and roll concert. And this is before I got involved with anything, anybody. I just had an idea.
You went for the gut.
And so what? If you're going to have a concert, you got to go for the gold. So I contacted John Schlitt's people and arranged at the Mooresville Church of God the very first rock and roll concert. We had John Schlitt and about 250 people in their parking lot. And had possibly the coolest experience ever. And that's where I met John for the first time and discovered that he is the real deal. And after hitting it off with him and after he asked me to be a part of his team, I decided to take it one step further.
Yeah.
And I started dabbling just a little bit in a little more classic rock, because I'm as classic as they get. Don't give me nothing modern.
Right.
Unless it's Skillet, because, well, they rock.
That's right, they do.
So I started a little group on Facebook back when they had groups. And sat there thinking, you know, classic rock, classic Christian rock preservation society. Hey, that works. It's a mouthful, but it's cool.
Yes, we got that right. It sings,
so
baby.
Just one night I started posting videos of classic Christian rock, and it took off. Not too much longer, about Christmas time, or about Easter time, I see this message from Matthew Ward pop up on my Facebook page, and Matthew, of course, from the second chapter of Acts.
Right, classic band, man.
He's talking about his new remix of the classic Easter song that he redid. And I got a message from him, or I sent him a message rather, said, hey, you should probably post this over on the CCRPS group page. And he did. Well, about 2 seconds later, I got a message from his manager, said, how would you like to bring him to Indianapolis?
Wow.
You know, it's like, who says no to Matthew Ward?
His wife, I don't know.
You know, I may be bald, but I'm not stupid.
That's right.
So the very first concert I ever did on my own was Matthew Ward.
Wow.
So with that and John Schlitt under my belt, things kind of took off from there.
Well, I mean, I'm looking at the Preservation Society page, and there's a really good looking Rob Pugh next to some people that look like, I don't know, Michael Sweet, Timothy Gaines. You got John Schlett. I mean, brother, and let's be honest, okay? And I got to say this. I got to get it out because I'm a fan. But I'm not a fanboy. There's a difference. I'm a big fan of these artists. And like you, I've been very fortunate to get to talk to and know them. Not everybody in such a way, but like Peter Furler, I've got to meet him face to face. Really nice guy.
Yeah.
But you find out that they're really just people.
Yeah.
They're good.
So.
Yeah, they're really good people. But what better way to find that out, to be able to talk to them, get to know them in such a way. So you have an avenue where you go to this church and there are no accidents. You bring in, I mean, you shot for gold, dude. You weren't sitting there going, let's bring in Fred and the Nosebleeds, brother. They're good. I mean, you bring in Petra.
Yeah.
I mean, this means war. That's what you went for, bud. You go after the full enchilada. And then to have favor with John and sincerity, and that's what I like about you, Rob. It's sincere. It's not, hey, I got to have my moment. It's less Rob, more God. Am I right?
There's no reason to have more Rob.
That's right. There's enough Robs.
There's enough Rob. I'm so passionate about the classic, the legends, the guys who set the standard. Because without these guys, without the Jesus People movement, we wouldn't have what's out there today.
Right on.
And there was such a movement, there was such meaning in that music. It needs to keep going. And through this, I became great friends with another legend, Randy Stonehill.
Right.
And he's another guy who's just as humble can be.
Yeah.
And to be sitting there and get a phone call from him, it's like, I used to listen to you because wow, you're on a pedestal, and now I'm on first name basis with this guy, and helping him continue his ministry through his unbelievably legendary music.
And the funny thing about that is that you got to pinch yourself a little bit and say, God, this is cool. That's a gift, man. Well, listen, hold that thought, because I got to come back after the break and I got to slam one on you. Okay?
Do it.
Stick around. More Rob Priest, Rob and Rob, right after this. All right, welcome back. Rob Priest, Unchained with Rob Pugh, RPD2. What? What is that? That's nothing, man. That's like saying Darth Never. Whatever. That's pretty dumb. Hey, you know what? We haven't said something in a while. I'm going to let you say it. We need to say that. What's the name of that restaurant, Rob?
Oh, that would be Taco Bell.
Yeah. You know what it is? You know what Taco Bell backwards is? Taco Bell. Zing! Man, Amanda's being a sweetie, I got to tell you. Go to the Facebook page. We're having a war. Man, she's slamming me. She's calling me cue ball and duty head and whatever. We're having a good time. You know what? I talked with Petra's management. This is my announcement. And working with the promoter. Looks like we're going to try to put on a date for September to have those folks down there in Beaumont, Texas, baby. And I have to tell you, I was more than surprised at the writer, the amount of what they're asking for. And I'll just say this. I know the Bible says that a workman is worthy of his hire. I firmly believe that. And these guys are giving way more than any amount of money. It's not that. When I saw that writer, what I saw was these guys are saying, look, we've got to cover our expenses. This is how we make our living. But not at the expense of the honor and the glory of God. Does that make sense?
Makes great sense. And you know, they're a true honor to work with.
I gotta tell you, man. I'm not going to challenge that. When I saw Petra, now I saw I guess a classic, whatever. I call it Greg Eggs, and I want to say it was Morgan Cryer.
Okay.
Does that remember? You remember him, Morgan Cryer?
Sure.
Okay,
Sure.
I thought I had it right. We Can Still Pray in the USA. There, that's a song. He opened for him, and I saw them with Greg X, and I really enjoyed it. Port Arthur, Texas. So we're talking for those folks that are going, yeah, you got me. I don't know. It's not too far from Louisiana, border Lake Charles. Then I saw a Schlitt with the Newsboys at Sam Houston Coliseum in Houston, Texas. Yeah. What I really liked about the band was there was a whole new energy, a whole new passion. The sound changed. But what I got from the band, and not that I didn't get it before, but there was something there that said, if one heart hears one word, and that word changes them forever, we've done what we were supposed to do.
Yeah.
I think you'd agree.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, the whole music changed big time between Beat the System and Back to the Streets when John came in.
Right.
And it was either change to the new sound or die with the old sound. And changing to the new sound, of course, gave them Dove Awards, Grammy Awards.
Well,
and, then the message continues to grow.
Well, and it's not rehash, and that's the thing of that and you being in this biz, you understand it. It's not, dude. It's not about cutting edge. I mean, we want to say that, but I don't believe that. I think that
it's not cutting edge. It's staying with the times.
Yes,
it's not being stagnant.
Exactly right. I mean, I was very excited when Stryper got back together as the original lineup. And I love Stryper. And I know there's some folks out there that don't. And all I got to say is we're going forward. But they put out, the covering. Dug it. Love Stryper. And then the Second Coming. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't need, and I know they don't want to. I've talked with Michael about this. They don't want warmed over soup.
No.
But they also know that they've got to keep classic to the sound, but relevant to the time. And I think that's what most bands want to do, or most artists. But we also realize that, especially in the day and age we're in, that we have to be able to say, it's not what I'm doing, it's what I'm doing, or who am I doing it for?
It's about getting the message out.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter that I'm not into hip hop and not into rap. I love those guys as long as the message is out. If it's not a good message, get rid of it. It doesn't matter. It's got to be about the greater cause. Exactly
right. And if it's about getting, one more pat on the back. Now, again, the Bible says this. The Bible says a good word makes a heart glad. It says to pursue building each other up. That's what we're going to do. On this show, on anybody, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to de-escalate the bad. I'm going to be a warrior for the cause of Christ. And I'm going to build and encourage people. And what I liked about when John was on the show a while back was the sincerity of my heart to him with what I had to say. And it wasn't fanboyish. It was Brother Rob to Brother John. And it was received in just that same way. I didn't go, dude, you're awesome. You're great. Can I have a shirt? I didn't do that. I wanted to encourage this guy because he puts his pants on one leg at a time.
You said earlier it was 4 legs.
When I was 16, what is that, like a cephalopod or something? I don't know. I watch too many Men in Black. Let me throw some curveballs at you, because you used to do radio, right?
A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
Nineveh?
In the 80s.
In the 80s? Oh, that was Boston. Oh, okay. I'm spitballing. Pastor Greg over and I got to say this. Pastor Greg at Rock Church, he says, Brother Rob, what's spitballing? I go, making stuff up. Sorry, it's a colloquialism that only the people in the South use. Slow down, brother, and read. All right, here. Back in the 80s, so let's see how good your trivia is. You ready?
Sure.
Okay, I'm gonna see if I can't rattle your cage a little bit. I'd see if I can do this right. There was a song from an artist, and I cannot think their name, but it was about Jonah and the whale, strange journey in the deep blue sea, because he refused to tell how men of Nineveh could be free. You remember that artist?
No. Doesn't even ring a bell.
Doesn't ring a bell. Okay. How about it was the story about the children of Israel, and they were complaining to Moses, and they didn't want to eat manna anymore. We were going to have manna burgers and banana bread. You don't remember that?
It doesn't get more classic than that. It was a modern day prophet, simply known as Keith Green.
Classic. Okay. Let me ask you this: if I have to go to a break, will you stay with me?
Sure.
Well, I'm not going to go to.
Oh, we're not even scratching the surface yet.
That's right, because after this, we're going to Taco Bell. Amanda's paying. Oh, tonnage, baby! Taco Bell. Yeah, we're going to go to Taco Bell, and it's going to be 2 Robs. Amanda's paying. Ball-headed people. Hey, you know what, dude? I'm getting hungry. Don't do that. All right, stick around. More Rob Priest, Rob Pugh, Unchianed.
Turn on my TV. The whole world's falling apart. And reading today's headlines, it's like taking a walk in the dark. No matter how it all may seem, I won't let it get to me. This is the end.
Man, I tell you, that song that brings peace, because you hear John singing what's on your heart, what's on my heart, because you read the news, you hear all this bad stuff, and we know God's in control, and then he uses a sweet servant like that to just speak to your heart and go, you know what? Thanks, John. God is in control. Appreciate it, buddy. Isn't that cool, man? Rob.
Hey, Rob, I'm here. Sorry. Yeah, it's very cool, and that's one of the things that I really appreciate, John. He sings from the heart. They're not made up lyrics.
Not at all. But I'll tell you, I have one thing against him. No, actually, I got 2 things against John.
He still has hair?
Well, you know what? That's one of them. Like, he still has hair, and he sings a little bit better than me. I'm close. I'm really close. I'm almost to the Schlitz stage.
Yeah.
But I figure, I don't want to rob anything. I'll just, rob nothing. So I'll just be Rob and whatever. And now, actually, for a talent like that, you have to, and you know that there are so many, I know you know this, there's so many people that have that same ability that are out there. It's almost like throwing a rock and hitting an artist. And you have to be in the right place at the right time. And I love the way John, talked about that. But I'm so glad that he headed east from Head East, if that makes a sense. You know what I'm saying?
It does. I do have to brag on one thing that I got to do. A couple of years ago, I was fortunate enough to go with several people out to Iowa, if anybody wants to go to Iowa. But what I learned out there is they have a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And Head East was inducted that year.
Wow.
And it was the first time, and John went, and it was the first time John has seen or talked to those guys in years, ever since the firing. And seeing him perform with with those guys was unbelievable. So
that's cool.
That's my touch with my brush with greatness in the secular rock and roll world. They were amazing.
Man, I tell you, did they sing the classic hit or what?
They sang several classic hits.
Nice.
Yeah, and I just sat there grinning, going, "Yeah, this is cool."
Well, I don't know. When you talk about having that honor, I have to share, and it's not the one-upping. It's not that. Growing up as a believer, at that age, 21, 22, I guess, when I got saved, the artists that were out at that time that really they were playing a lot. You had Keith Green, you had you had Phil Kagi,
mm-hmm.
you had of course you had Stryper, you had Petra, all these. You had Whiteheart, all these different bands, and the one of the ones that really just I listened to all the time. It was a comedian, Mike Warnke. And just cut my teeth on Brother Mike. And the way he was able to bring the gospel to a place where it wasn't hard for me to understand because I was so intimidated by the Word of God only because of other people. Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah.
And I know a lot of people can understand that. But Brother Mike, to me, made it a way where it was easy to digest and understand. Then, when all the stuff happened with his ministry, the thing that bothered me the most about that wasn't what was being said. It was that it was being said. It's nobody's business. And that's me. Now, if somebody says, no, this is just me talking, I'll have a few moments here. And so later on, I was on the internet looking around, and I found him on there in his Celebrations of Hope website, and I sent him a message interested in having him come to our church. I didn't know he was back in doing it because he did step down, and he put himself under the pastor of the church. And I got a phone call one day, and it was Mike.
Cool.
And I lost my mind. And he allowed me the grace to just be a fanboy for just a few minutes. Years later, I contacted him when I was doing Beyond the Riff with Brian Bishop and wanted to talk to him about doing an interview for the show. And it turned out not only did we do that, but I actually got to go pick Mike up in Houston, spend several days with him, and within 5 minutes, I just felt like I was talking to my dad.
Yeah.
And he even lets all those that want to call him Papa. And I got to tell you, dear sweet soul, a big reason that I am just this crazy guy I am today, but so thankful for those folks and the opportunity to meet them and how things come full circle. Because if you'd have said 21 years ago, 22 years ago, now, Rob Pugh, you're going to be able to, be friends with this person and that person, you're going to go, what you been drinking, dude? Because it ain't going to happen.
Yeah, it's just some wild things have taken place, and just kind of go in line with what you just said. My wife a couple of years ago, about a year and a half ago, made the mistake and asked me what I wanted for my 50th birthday. And I said, well, I want John Schmidt to sing Happy Birthday to me. And she said, yeah, right. And that's, well, long story short, after some phone calls and research, I realized that was the beginning of Petra's 40th anniversary.
Wow.
So what I did is I got a hold of the original Petra.
Oh.
John DeGroff, Bill Glover, and Greg Hogue.
Okay.
And DeGroff and Hogue still live in the Fort Wayne area, and Bill lives in Florida. And I was just emailing John DeGroff at the time, and I said, John, I'm thinking about doing a Petra convention. What do you think? I told him it's just going to be kind of a fan thing. We'll make it small, make it like 100 people. And he talked to the other guys, and before you know it, they said, yeah, that's cool. So what I did, and I know you made a comment earlier about Sam Scales on your site.
Mm.
I manage Sam. Sam's a good friend of mine.
Nice.
And so I had Sam, I had John Schlitt, and I had the original Petra in a small hotel room here in Indianapolis. And we had the third annual Petra convention because somebody else had the first two up in Wisconsin. So we called it PC3 Indy. We blew the roof off the place. The original Petra three guys are now known as GHF,
wow,
which is God Has Forgiven.
Nice.
A few months later, for my work, because I work in music for a living,
Yeah.
I was out in Vegas at a trade show. And John DeGroff calls me just as one of the days are closing, and he said, Rob, I got to talk to you. I said, okay, sure, what do you need? He said, we've been talking, and the guys want you to manage us.
Wow.
And right there, my jaw hit the ground. Here I'm walking out of the convention center to go see Blue Man Group, and all of a sudden I'm being asked to manage the original guys from Petra.
Sweet.
It's like, well, can you repeat that, please?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Did you just say?
So, to speed it up a little bit, the three original guys haven't done anything since 1976 in the studio. They've had a live album, but they had not done any studio work. So, what we've done is we're having another Petra convention this year in June, 21st and 22nd, and on that Saturday, we're releasing GHF Volume 1, the very first studio album from the original Petra members.
Wow. God.
And after hearing what they've done, I was sitting up in studio with them going, where have you guys been for the last 36 years?
Wow.
So,
wow.
Rob, I'm telling you right here, their music is going to blow your mind.
Well, I'm telling you right here, buddy, if you don't get them on this show, I'm going to find you, kill you, raise you from the dead, feed you Taco Bell, and then say...
You're going to feed me Taco Bell?
I'll feed you Taco Bell. That's what...
Wait. Hey, no, I got to make a request, though. It's got to be vegetarian. I don't eat meat.
Well, we'll just tell them to hold the dead flesh. And
Just give me some lettuce. That's good.
You know what? Lettuce with picante sauce. You know what I'm saying? We can do that. But seriously, I know you will. But when those guys get situated, ready, you make the call. You call me. You got a brother over here that will. I'll give him the whole show, man. 2 hours of pure, unabashed, classic Christian rock. What do you think?
Well, working with these guys has been an honor. I've already talked to them, so it's already been arranged. We just got to set the dates.
Nice.
I'm going to Fort Wayne the third week of May to finalize the album, and so we're going to do the release at the Petra convention. So, all you Petra fans, go to attendthestar.com, search Petra, and hang out with us. When we did it last year, there was one big element missing, and I fixed that this year. Everybody wanted to know where Bob Hartman was.
Huh? Yeah.
So I was able to get John Schlitt and Bob Hartman this year to reunite as two guys from Petra.
Wow.
So they're going to do a full set. GHF is going to do a full set of some of their original material and their brand new stuff. They're so jazzed to play their new material. It's like the past is over with. Here we come.
Well, you know what? I'm chomping. Now you got me excited more than when we were talking about this for about a week or two ago. Listen, Amanda's throwing food at me if we don't go to the break. Stop throwing food, you big stupid. We're going to go to a break. We're going to come back. Come back with more Rob and Rob Unchained, baby.
Behind this old white picket fence are some things we need to mend. Or something more than clever words and alibis. While some have tried with all their might to take the wrongs and make them right. Without love it can never change. And every time we try, we're only being vain. Raised on Hollywood, fast life, looking good.
You know, the only thing bad about playing that stuff, it's a teaser because you're going, oh, yeah, this is a great part coming. It's gone. Now we're not going to listen.
I can solve that problem, Rob.
I know you can.
Come to Indianapolis and hear it live.
Man, you know what? I'm going to take you up on that offer. That's it. You know what, Amanda? Get the keys to the jet. We're leaving, okay? We're going to go, and I'm going to pick everybody up. We're going to Taco Bell. I'm buying, okay? We're going to do that. And on the way there, we're going to pick up Dale Huffman of Bride, play some psychedelic Super Jesus. I'm just saying, man.
And Dale's just down the road to Louisville.
You know what? I just saw those guys are back in the studio, bud.
Dale and I've been talking
Yeah.
a little bit, a little messaging, and may have an announcement for next year. Don't know.
You know what? That band, golly, I'm so glad God takes stuff and makes it cool. You know what I'm saying, man?
I've got this ongoing joke with Sam. Hey, Sam, how you doing? There's a Tetris song for everything. And there is, and I'm telling you, it's all about who you know.
Yeah.
And just to tease you a little bit more, I've got some really cool stuff coming up this year. What was originally supposed to be just like one concert a year has turned into a whole concert series.
Nice.
This Saturday, this coming up Saturday, a week from yesterday, I've got a living legend coming to my church, Mooresville Church of God. Hi, Justin. How you doing, man? He's alive. It's San Francisco.
Yeah, I saw that, dude. I mean, you know what? You're like Doc Brown of Back to the Future. It's like 1.21 gigawatts. You're amazing, man.
Well, I can take it. I can take it a little bit further.
Do it.
I can take it further. Then, of course, I got the 2-day Petra convention with GHF, the original Petra guys, in Schlitt and Hartman.
Right.
In August. You want to talk living legends and amazing human beings? In August, Phil Keggy is coming, along with Sherry Keggy as his opening act.
Well, they have the same last name. It's like they're related.
They do. It's not a very common thing for those guys to play together. They got two totally different demographics.
Yeah.
So you got worshiping Sherry and mind-blowing, mind-melting worshiping Phil.
That's classic mind-blowing Phil. I love it.
If you want to take it one step further.
Well, you know what? Dude, you're Unchained. You're off the cuff. Come on.
In October. This is a lady that I have more respect for than you could ever imagine. I've been contacted and talked to. It set it up. Nancy Honeytree Miller is coming to Indianapolis.
That is nice. I thought you were going to say Nancy Jo Mann. I was going to break out the Learjet, dude.
Honeytree, the original, the first lady of contemporary Christian music.
Yes.
Rattle Me, Shake Me will be live in Mooresville.
Well, you know what? If you top that by telling me Larry Norman's going to be there, dude, we're done. Okay, because
live from the grave, it's Larry Norman and Keith Green.
Well, I'll tell you what, I got to make an announcement myself. I'm still waiting for the next Elvis Presley record. Just saying.
I heard he was in Kalamazoo flipping burgers making tacos at a Taco Bell.
Yeah, with Bruce Lee.
He's into chalupas.
Yeah, you know what? Vegetarian chalupas. And I tell you, Samantha or Sam, she's blowing up she's like, man, I want what is this veggie garbage? Man, you guys got to have some gut bombs somewhere, man. You know.
I got to tell you, Rob, I made a real lifestyle change about 2 months ago.
Did you?
And for personal reasons, health reasons, and to get my head straight.
Yeah.
I stopped eating meat and dairy.
Wow.
And have been totally successful with it. I'm almost down 40 pounds in just 8 weeks.
Congratulations, buddy.
It's just time to make a change. My kids need a dad.
Yeah.
They don't need a tombstone.
Well, ironically, I did something real similar, my friend, but I couldn't. Well, I won't say I couldn't, but the path that I took was gastric bypass. I was almost 400 pounds. And diabetes, sleep apnea, all the ills that come with it. And I wasn't getting any younger. And my wife just said, "Hun, look, the insurance is there." And here I am being serious. And I got to watch what I eat. When I say I'm not tongue-in-cheek by watching it go into my mouth, I mean I got to watch what I eat, like what you're doing. And either way, it was still hard, and it's very different. But I love what you said. They deserve Dad. They deserve you. And that T-bone steak's not that important, the whatever. So, and I saw your progress on Facebook, Rob. To be able to do that, and as much as you're out, and much as you travel, and all the things that are thrown in front of you. Because I got a buddy of mine that works in Hollywood. He provides dressing rooms for movie stars. And he's a big boy.
Yeah.
I've known him since we were 13. And he's flat out told me it's so hard because the food's there, with all the other stuff. And, dude, just keep doing it. You're doing it for the right reasons. And you're looking good, by the way, bud.
I feel good.
Well,
I feel good, and unlike my Savior, I can't be rose from the grave.
Well, you know what? Yes and no, because if you die before the rapture, you're going to raise. But
there you go. But my kids and my wife, they deserve to have me around a little bit longer because who else they can make fun of? So, and who else is going to continue bringing the classics to town?
That's right. And if anybody has any brain, go to Facebook, okay, like the page, get plugged in, and there's all kinds of things you can do, especially with like Kickstarter, all those little things that help the artist continue to bring the music that we love, they love bringing, and ultimately God's going to provide a way either way. But
the Kickstarter is sweet.
Yeah.
Kickstarter is a sweet thing. Last year, we were able to do John's new project, The Greater Cause, on Kickstarter. This year, he's doing a Christmas album on Kickstarter. It's a fan-driven, man. Just go to Kickstarter, search John Schlitt. It'll pop right up. And on Facebook, Classic Christian Rock Preservation Society. Like the page, leave comments, call Rob Priest bad names.
Yes.
And if you want to stay in touch with what's going on, I have a blog page. It's just simply Rob Pugh, PUGH.blogspot.com. I update that all the time on all the concerts that are going on. And hopefully, I can announce that Rob Priest will be on fire with Petra this year. You
know what? And if I'm not there in physicalness, if that's even a word, you know this. We're going to close it out because Amanda's giving me that look. But you know this, my brother. I'm there with you in spirit. You're with me here. And if God allows us that time to meet, and I know, I feel in my heart we will, what a time it'll be, buddy. What a time.
It'll be a good time. And if not, we will meet.
Yeah.
We will meet and we will party.
Hey, man. You know what? We'll have some Taco Bell. You know what I'm saying?
Heavenly Taco Bell.
All right. Listen, everybody stick around. Right after this, we got Brother Dave and Lovely Lynn. They're on tap. For Rob Pugh, the amazing Miss Amanda, this is Rob Priest Unchained. Thank you so much. We'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.